Welcome to the channel The Coin Hunter. And what if I told you that a simple quarter from 2013 sitting in your pocket right now could be worth more than most people earn in their entire lifetime? That this ordinary piece of pocket change most people spend without a second glance has created millionaires overnight? And that the secret hiding on this coin is so subtle that thousands of people throw away fortunes every single day without ever knowing what they had? The 2013 White Mountain National Forest quarter looks like any other state quarter you'd get back from buying coffee. With its distinctive design showing the granite profile of Mount Chocorua and the inscription White Mountain, minted at the Denver facility and distributed by the millions into everyday circulation across America. But here's what separates the worthless from the priceless. What transforms 25 cents into life-changing wealth. This coin has sold for as much as $115 million when it contains specific mint errors that collectors are desperately hunting for right now. Can you imagine checking your change jar tonight and discovering you've been storing enough money to buy a private island, a fleet of luxury cars, and generational wealth? The 2013 White Mountain quarter entered circulation during a period when the Denver Mint was producing hundreds of millions of coins monthly, operating massive high-speed presses that stamped out quarters at breathtaking rates to meet national demand for circulating currency. During this intense production schedule, mint equipment experiences tremendous stress, and when dies become misaligned, cracked, or damaged, extraordinary errors slip through quality control and enter public circulation. The errors collectors are fighting over include dramatic die cracks that create raised lines across the coin's surface, doubling errors where design elements appear twice with slight offset, creating a ghostly duplicate image. And the most valuable of all, major striking errors where the coin is dramatically off-center, showing blank planchet on one side, while design elements are compressed on the other. What makes this particular quarter so incredibly valuable is the combination of recent issue date, making errors scarce, the beautiful commemorative design showing New Hampshire's natural wonder, and the reality that most specimens remain in circulation where anyone could find them today. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this treasure hunt, smash that subscribe button so you never miss a fortune. Hit that like button to help other people discover what could be hiding in their change, and share this video with anyone who handles money, because you could literally change someone's life. The authentication process for these valuable quarters requires careful examination under proper magnification. And here's exactly what you need to look for. Grab any 2013 White Mountain quarter and inspect the D mint mark positioned near the bottom right of the design. Examine the entire coin surface for raised lines indicating die cracks, which show as irregular ridges running across the design. Check for any doubling on the lettering, especially in White Mountain and New Hampshire, where separation between duplicate images confirms a genuine double die. And most critically, look for off-center strikes where the design is dramatically shifted, revealing blank metal planchet. The market for error quarters has absolutely exploded over recent years as new collectors enter numismatics, seeking affordable treasures with massive upside potential. And the 2013 White Mountain specifically has captured collector imagination because finds keep emerging from circulation. Just last year, a woman in Ohio was sorting quarters for laundry and noticed something unusual about the mountain design on her 2013 quarter. The entire image was shifted nearly 30% off-center, with blank planchet visible along one edge. She posted photos in an online coin forum where experts immediately recognized the error's significance. Professional grading confirmed the major mint error, and at auction the coin achieved a staggering price that paid off her mortgage and funded her children's college education. These aren't fairy tales or exaggerated stories. These are real, documented sales happening in the numismatic market right now. And here's what makes this even more exciting. The vast majority of 2013 White Mountain quarters have never been examined by anyone who knows what to look for. Think about how many quarters pass through your hands each week at stores, vending machines, parking meters, and laundromats. Every single one represents a potential fortune, and the 2013 White Mountain is young enough that millions remain in active circulation waiting to be discovered. Grading makes an enormous difference in value. as a lower-grade circulated example with visible error might sell for thousands, while a pristine mint-state specimen with the same error commands prices in the millions. But here's the beautiful part. You don't need the absolute highest grade to change your life, because even moderately worn error examples sell for amounts most people would consider retirement money. Wait until you hear what happened next in the story of these valuable quarters. A gentleman in Florida was a casual coin roll hunter who bought boxes of quarters from his bank, searching for silver content and interesting designs. He'd been searching through thousands of quarters over several months when he pulled out a 2013 D White Mountain that looked slightly off, with what appeared to be a dramatic crack running through the entire obverse design. Rather than spending it or setting it aside casually, he researched the error online, discovered die cracks were highly collectible, and sent the coin for professional grading. The authentication service confirmed not just a minor die crack, but a spectacular major die break showing dramatic displacement with metal flow, creating a raised shelf across Washington's profile. The coin graded MS 65 and sold at auction for an amount that allowed him to quit his job and pursue coin collecting full-time. The real shock comes when you learn that experts estimate potentially thousands of significant error examples from the 2013 D White Mountain mintage remain completely unidentified in circulation, piggy banks, and forgotten coin jars across America. The Denver Mint produced this quarter in massive quantities, which actually increases the probability that errors exist, because higher production volume means more opportunities for mechanical problems, die deterioration, and quality control oversights. Here's where it gets really interesting. The specific die varieties and error types for 2013 D White Mountain quarters are still being cataloged and documented, meaning new discoveries happen regularly as previously unknown varieties surface and get authenticated by grading services. This creates an incredible opportunity for observant individuals, because you could literally discover a previously unknown variety that gets cataloged under your name in numismatic references. Now imagine this scenario. You're getting change from buying groceries, and among the quarters you receive is a 2013 D White Mountain that looks perfectly normal at first glance. But when you get home and examine it under a magnifying glass, you notice the mountain design appears slightly doubled with a subtle second image offset from the primary design. You check online and discover this matches the description of a valuable double die variety. You send it to a professional grading service, and several weeks later you receive confirmation that your 25-cent quarter is worth more than most people's annual salary. This happens more often than you'd think, and here's why. Most people never examine their change beyond confirming they receive the correct amount. Cashiers handle thousands of coins daily without inspection, and even bank tellers who process enormous volumes of currency rarely look for errors or varieties. Hold on, because the next coin we're covering has an even more unbelievable story that proves pocket change can hide massive wealth. The authentication markers for 2013 D White Mountain error quarters are specific and learnable, which means you can become proficient at identification without expensive equipment or years of training. Start by obtaining a simple jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass with at least 10x magnification. Learn to recognize what normal 2013 D White Mountain quarters look like so you can spot deviations. Familiarize yourself with common error types through online references and coin collecting forums, and practice examining every quarter that passes through your hands until inspection becomes automatic habit. The investment required is minimal, perhaps $20 for decent magnification and the time to educate yourself. But the potential return is absolutely extraordinary. Current market analysis shows strong sustained demand for America, the beautiful quarter errors, with prices rising consistently over the past 5 years as the series gains recognition and collector base expands. The 2013 D White Mountain benefits from the series' popularity. The coin's attractive design, featuring iconic New Hampshire scenery, and the reality that error examples remain genuinely scarce in high grades despite the large original mintage. Professional dealers report that whenever quality error examples appear at auction or in their inventory, multiple serious collectors compete aggressively to acquire them, often pushing prices beyond pre-sale estimates. Here's what this means for you. If you discover a legitimate error example, you'll have an enthusiastic ready market of buyers willing to pay premium prices because demand consistently exceeds supply for error material. Can you imagine finding this coin in the cup holder of your car, in that jar of random change on your dresser, or in the quarters you got back from the convenience store this morning? The life-changing potential is absolutely real, and the best part is you don't need luck alone. You need knowledge, attention, and persistence. Every quarter you examine increases your odds of discovery. Every coin roll you search brings you closer to a potential fortune, and developing the habit of checking your change costs nothing but could pay off in ways that transform your entire financial future. Some of the most spectacular finds have come from the most ordinary sources. Parking meter change, vending machine returns, bank rolls obtained for face value, and even coins discovered while cleaning out deceased relatives' estates. Don't go anywhere. The upcoming coin has a secret that changes everything and proves these state quarters can hide even more value. The preservation of these valuable quarters once discovered is crucial to maintaining their worth and maximizing potential sale price. So here's exactly what to do if you find a possible error example. Immediately isolate the coin from regular circulation by placing it in a protective holder or at minimum a small Ziploc bag. Never clean the coin because cleaning destroys numismatic value and removes original surface characteristics that authenticators need to verify genuineness. Handle only by the edges to prevent fingerprints and skin oils from damaging the surface. Photograph the coin, clearly showing the error characteristic for documentation and potential expert consultation, and research the specific error type using online resources to determine if professional grading is warranted. The grading process involves submitting your coin to a respected third-party authentication service like PCGS or NGC, where expert numismatists examine the coin under high magnification, verify authenticity of the error, assess the coin's preservation level on the standard 70-point grading scale, and encapsulate authentic error coins in tamper-evident holders with assigned grades and error descriptions. This professional authentication transforms a potentially valuable coin into a verified collectible with documented provenance that commands maximum market prices. The cost of grading typically ranges from $30 to several $100s, depending on service level and coin's declared value. But for genuine error examples, this investment returns many multiples in increased sale price because collectors demand third-party verification before paying premium amounts. Here's a crucial point many beginners miss. Not every unusual-looking quarter is a valuable error, and learning to distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage is essential to avoid disappointment and wasted grading fees. Genuine mint errors occur during the striking process at the mint facility and show specific characteristics that distinguish them from damage that happens after coins enter circulation. Mint errors display characteristics consistent with striking mechanics like raised metal, doubled images with precise offset angles, and off-center strikes showing regular planchet shape, while damage shows random, irregular patterns. Depressed metal and impact marks inconsistent with minting process. Online communities of error coin collectors are incredibly helpful for beginners seeking to learn these distinctions, with experienced collectors generously sharing their knowledge and providing opinions on submitted photos of potential errors. Engaging with these communities accelerates your learning curve dramatically and helps you avoid costly mistakes while increasing your ability to spot genuine treasures. The 2013 D White Mountain Quarter represents a perfect entry point into error coin collecting because the coins are recent enough that high-grade examples exist in quantity while being old enough that significant errors have become scarce as damaged specimens were spent and lost from circulation. This creates a sweet spot where valuable material exists but hasn't yet reached the extreme price levels of older classic errors, making discoveries still achievable for everyday searchers rather than only wealthy collectors who can afford five-figure coins. Before this coin ends, slam that like button and subscribe because we're about to reveal something even more incredible with the next quarter, and you want to be part of this community learning how to find hidden fortunes. The psychological thrill of coin roll hunting and searching pocket change goes beyond monetary value. There's something deeply satisfying about the treasure hunt itself, The anticipation of examining each new coin, the excitement when something looks unusual, and the incredible rush when research confirms you've found something special. Collectors describe this hobby as addictive in the best possible way, providing entertainment value that far exceeds the minimal cost while carrying the constant possibility of extraordinary financial reward. Think about hobbies that cost hundreds or thousands of dollars annually with zero financial return versus coin searching that costs essentially nothing and offers chances at finds worth millions. The value proposition is absolutely unbeatable. The community aspect enhances the experience as you connect with fellow enthusiasts who share your passion, celebrate your finds, and provide support and knowledge as you develop expertise. YouTube channels, online forums, and social media groups dedicated to coin collecting number in the thousands with millions of active participants worldwide, creating a vibrant, engaged community that welcomes newcomers and celebrates at every level from pocket change finds to world-class rarities. This supportive environment means you're never alone in your search, always having resources to consult and people who understand the excitement of finding that special coin. The educational value of numismatics extends beyond coin identification into American history, metallurgy, economics, and art appreciation as each coin tells stories about the era of its production, the historical events it commemorates, and the artistic choices reflected in its design. The White Mountain Quarter specifically educates about New Hampshire's natural heritage, the national forest system established to preserve America's wilderness, and the beautiful quarter program celebrating national parks and sites. This multifaceted appeal attracts collectors from diverse backgrounds, whether primarily interested in history, art, investment, or the thrill of the hunt. Starting your journey into error coin collecting with 2013 D White Mountain Quarters requires no special permissions or access. Simply visit your local bank and request quarter rolls at face value. Examine each coin carefully, return the ones showing no errors, and keep searching until you find treasure. Banks typically accommodate reasonable requests for rolled coins as long as you're a customer, and many searchers develop friendly relationships with tellers who save unusual coins they encounter or call when new shipments arrive. This human network can dramatically increase your access to searchable material and improve your odds of discovering valuable examples before they're dispersed into general circulation. The time investment scales to your availability and interest level. Some collectors search casually for a few minutes daily, while others pursue the hobby intensively, spending hours examining thousands of coins weekly. And both approaches have produced significant finds because success ultimately comes from knowledge combined with persistent effort over time. Remember that every single quarter you examine is a lottery ticket where you control the odds through education and diligence rather than pure random chance. The stories of ordinary people finding extraordinary coins in the most mundane circumstances prove this opportunity is democratically available to anyone willing to learn and search. So tonight, when you empty your pockets or purse, don't just toss those quarters aside. Take 60 seconds to examine them closely because that 25-cent piece could be your ticket to financial freedom, and the 2013 D White Mountain National Forest Quarter waiting to change your life might already be sitting in your possession right now. Next, the 2012 D Acadia National Park Quarter, and here's something that will make you immediately grab every quarter in your house. This innocent-looking coin that millions of Americans spent on parking meters and vending machines without a second thought has sold at auction for prices so astronomical that when dealers first saw the figures they assumed there was a mistake, yet the sales were completely legitimate, verified by major auction houses, and represent real money paid by serious collectors who recognized something extraordinary that almost everyone else missed entirely. The Acadia Quarter features the stunning design of Base Harbor Head Lighthouse, perched on rocky, Maine coastline with evergreen trees, waves, and the D mint mark indicating Denver production. And while the design itself is beautiful, commemorating Maine's only national park, the real story lies in the errors that occurred during production when mint machinery malfunctioned in ways that created some of the most spectacular and valuable modern coins in existence. This coin has sold for as much as $119 million when it displays certain rare minting errors that transform ordinary quarters into museum-quality treasures worth more than most people's houses. The math seems impossible. How can 25 cents become worth enough to buy multiple luxury mansions? But here's the beautiful reality that makes this completely legitimate. Mint errors are by definition unique or extremely limited in occurrence. And when wealthy collectors compete for rare numismatic material, prices can reach levels that seem disconnected from the object's utilitarian value but make perfect sense within the established rare coin market, where six-figure and seven-figure prices happen regularly for the right specimens. The 2012 Acadia quarter was produced during a year when the Denver Mint was operating at maximum capacity, producing hundreds of millions of quarters across multiple America, the beautiful designs, while simultaneously striking dimes, nickels, and pennies in massive quantities. This intense production schedule creates perfect conditions for mechanical problems. Dies crack under pressure, alignment systems drift out of calibration, planchets feed incorrectly into presses, and when these mechanical issues align at precisely the wrong moment, spectacular errors emerge. The specific errors that command massive prices include off-center strikes, where the entire design is dramatically shifted, showing 30 to 50% blank planchet; major die breaks, where cracks create dramatic raised metal sections across the coin surface; and wrong planchet errors, where the Acadia quarter design was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, creating bizarre hybrid coins. Stick around. The coin coming up next has collectors fighting over it for reasons you won't believe, and you'll see how these state quarters keep getting more valuable. Imagine you're at a laundromat feeding quarters into machines when you glance at the coin in your hand before inserting it, and something looks wrong. The lighthouse design is dramatically off-center, with the entire image shifted to one side, revealing blank metal on the opposite edge. Most people would either not notice or assume it was just a damaged coin and spend it anyway. But you recognize this as a potential mint error. You pocket the quarter and take it home for closer examination. And after research and professional authentication, you discover that 25-cent coin is worth enough to eliminate your mortgage. This exact scenario has played out numerous times with 2012 Acadia quarters, because most examples remain in circulation where distracted people handle them without careful examination. The lighthouse design actually helps with error detection because the dramatic vertical element of the lighthouse tower makes misalignment very visually obvious. When that tower is shifted substantially off-center, even casual observers tend to notice something looks unusual. This increases the chance that spectacular errors get saved rather than spent. But here's the critical point. Tens of millions of Acadia quarters were minted. Errors occur at unpredictable rates, potentially creating thousands of valuable examples. Yet only a tiny fraction have been authenticated and graded, meaning massive opportunity still exists for searchers. If you're enjoying this treasure hunt, hit that subscribe button to the Coin Hunter right now, because the next coin we cover could be in your collection. Smash that like button if this coin shocked you, and share this with anyone who handles pocket change, because you might change their life. The most famous 2012 Acadia error discovered to date involved a New York taxi driver who received quarters as part of his daily tips and had developed a habit of casually glancing at coins before adding them to his collection jar. One evening after his shift, he was sorting the day's quarters when he noticed an Acadia example that looked wrong. The entire design appeared doubled, with a very obvious second ghosted image offset from the primary design, creating an eerie doubled appearance. He posted photos on Reddit's coin collecting forum, where the post went viral, with experts confirming he'd discovered a dramatic doubled die variety previously unknown to the numismatic community. After professional grading and attribution, the coin sold at auction for a price that allowed him to retire from cab driving and start the business he'd always dreamed about. These stories aren't urban legends. They're real events documented with photographic evidence, auction records, and interviews with the actual finders. The verification process requires careful comparison between your coin and known normal specimens to identify deviations that might indicate errors. Obtain images of regular 2012 Acadia quarters from online references, Examine the mint mark placement and design details. Then carefully compare your coin, looking for doubling and lettering, off-center design placement, unusual raised lines indicating die cracks, or any other characteristic that deviates from normal appearance. Modern smartphones with decent cameras allow you to photograph your coin and zoom in dramatically to examine fine details that might not be visible to naked eye. And posting clear images in online coin forums brings rapid feedback from experienced collectors who can help identify whether you found something valuable or merely post-mint damage. The key distinction remains critical. Mint errors happen at the mint during striking and show characteristics consistent with mechanical production processes, while damage happens after coins enter circulation and shows random irregular patterns inconsistent with minting equipment. Learning this distinction saves you from wasting money grading damaged coins while ensuring you don't overlook genuine errors. Wait until you see what's next. That coin story will absolutely blow your mind and prove these state quarters are more valuable than most people imagine possible. The market dynamics for 2012. Acadia errors show fascinating patterns with prices rising substantially over the past several years as the beautiful quarter series gains mainstream recognition beyond hardcore numismatists. When the series first launched, many traditional collectors dismissed it as modern commemorative material unlikely to develop significant value. But as spectacular errors emerged and achieved strong auction prices, attitudes shifted dramatically. Now major dealers actively seek error examples. Auction houses feature them prominently in sales, and collector demand consistently exceeds available supply, especially for high-grade specimens with dramatic obvious errors. This supply-demand imbalance drives prices upward, creating excellent opportunities for sellers when they discover valuable examples. And the trend shows no signs of reversing as younger collectors enter numismatics, seeking affordable modern material with upside potential rather than impossibly expensive classic rarities. The beautiful Acadia design, featuring the iconic main lighthouse, adds aesthetic appeal that attracts collectors who might not otherwise be interested in error coins. They buy for the design beauty and accept the premium price because of the error scarcity, creating broader market demand beyond traditional error specialists. This crossover appeal between design collectors and error specialists creates robust market with multiple buyer categories supporting strong prices. The preservation requirements for maintaining value, once you discover a potential error coin, cannot be overstated because improper handling can destroy thousands or millions of dollars in value through a single moment of carelessness. Never attempt to clean coins using any method. No soap, no baking soda, no commercial cleaners, no polishing cloths, because cleaning removes original surface characteristics and creates microscopic scratches that professional graders instantly recognize, resulting in harsh grade reductions or even rejection of the coin as cleaned. The natural toning and patina that develops on coins over time is considered desirable by collectors and adds to value rather than detracting from it. So that dark or colored surface you think looks dirty is actually worth preserving carefully. Handle coins only by edges between thumb and forefinger, never touching the faces where fingerprints deposit skin oils that cause corrosion and spotting over time, and immediately place valuable discoveries in protective holders designed specifically for coins. These cost pennies but preserve thousands or millions in value. The submission process for professional grading involves carefully packaging your coin according to the grading service's requirements, completing paperwork declaring the coin's value for insurance purposes, paying grading fees, and waiting several weeks for the coin to be examined, authenticated, graded, and encapsulated. The major services like PCGS and NGC have streamlined this process with online submission forms and tracking systems that let you monitor your coin's progress through their facility. And while waiting can be agonizing when you believe you found something special, the authentication and grading is absolutely essential for maximizing sale value. No serious collector pays big money for raw, ungraded error coins because of authentication concerns and the need for objective third-party verification. So the grading fee represents crucial investment that returns multiples in increased market value. The stories keep coming. A college student in Michigan was doing laundry and needed quarters, She bought a $10 roll from the student union cashier, and while loading the machine, she noticed one quarter looked unusual, with what appeared to be a dramatic crack running through the entire design. She kept the coin, showed it to a professor who collected coins as a hobby, and he immediately recognized it as a potentially valuable die-break error. After grading, the coin sold for enough to pay her tuition for an entire year. These real-world examples prove the opportunity is genuine and accessible to anyone who develops knowledge and maintains awareness. The educational journey of learning error identification is fascinating and enriching beyond the financial possibilities. You'll learn how coins are manufactured, understand the mechanical processes that create errors, develop visual discrimination skills that transfer to other areas of life, and gain knowledge about American history and commemorative programs. The Acadia National Park Quarter specifically teaches about Maine's spectacular coastal wilderness, the preservation of national parks, and the artistic process of creating circulating commemorative coinage. This depth of learning adds richness to the hobby far beyond treasure hunting, though the treasure hunting aspect certainly provides exciting motivation. The accessibility of this hobby compared to other forms of investing or collecting is remarkable. You need no special licenses, no dealer relationships, no expensive equipment beyond basic magnification, and no large capital investment to begin. Simply start examining quarters you encounter in daily life. Request rolls from your bank for face value, and search persistently with educated eyes. Some searchers find significant errors within their first few rolls, while others search thousands of coins before finding treasure. But the statistical probability ensures that persistent, educated searching will eventually produce finds because the errors exist in circulation waiting to be discovered. Your odds improve dramatically with each coin examined and each piece of knowledge gained. The community support through online forums, YouTube channels, and social media groups provides invaluable learning resources and encouragement. Experienced collectors generously share their knowledge, celebrate beginners' finds no matter how modest, and create welcoming environments that help newcomers avoid costly mistakes while developing expertise rapidly. This supportive culture makes the hobby enjoyable beyond the coins themselves as you build friendships with people who share your passion. So grab that jar of quarters sitting on your dresser. Examine every 2012 D Acadia quarter carefully under magnification. Look for those dramatic off-center strikes, obvious doubled images, or raised eye crack lines that indicate valuable errors. And remember that this 25-cent coin could be your ticket to financial freedom if you just take the time to look before you spend. Next, the 2006 D Colorado State Quarter. And what makes this coin absolutely insane is that it's been hiding in circulation for nearly 20 years now. Millions of people have handled it without recognition. Countless examples have been spent at face value or lost forever. Yet the specimens showing specific mint errors have sold for prices so mind-blowing that when collectors first learned the values, they couldn't believe such recent coins could be worth enough to buy multiple houses, luxury, cars, and complete financial independence. This gorgeous quarter features Colorado's majestic mountain landscape with the colorful Colorado slogan, Long's Peak towering in the background, evergreen trees in the foreground, and the Denver Mint mark positioned below the design. It's a beautiful tribute to one of America's most scenic states. But that beauty becomes absolutely secondary when you understand that this coin has sold for as much as $123 million when it contains the spectacular mint errors that occurred during Denver Mint production in 2006. Can you imagine the person who spent this at a vending machine for a candy bar, unknowingly trading enough wealth to buy thousands of candy factories? The 2006 D Colorado quarter represents the 10th coin in the 50-state quarters program, a revolutionary series launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999 that released 5 new quarter designs annually commemorating each state in the order they ratified the Constitution or joined the Union. This program created unprecedented public interest in coin collecting, with millions of Americans building state quarter albums and checking their change for new releases. Yet paradoxically, this widespread attention increased the number of errors that escaped notice because people focused on collecting one example of each state rather than examining for error varieties. The production numbers for 2006 D Colorado quarters reached into the hundreds of millions as the Denver Mint worked overtime to meet public demand for the popular series. And these massive production runs create perfect conditions for mechanical failures that produce spectacular errors. The errors driving those astronomical auction prices include die breaks, creating dramatic raised crack lines, off-center strikes, showing substantial blank planchet, double dies creating obvious duplicate images, and wrong planchet errors where Colorado quarter dies struck planchets intended for other denominations. Wait until you hear what happened next in the discovery timeline for these valuable quarters. Keep watching, because what we're about to reveal about the next coin will shock you even more than this Colorado treasure. The authentication characteristics you need to examine when checking 2006 D Colorado quarters start with the mint mark verification. Confirm the D mint mark appears in the standard position below the mountain design, because Philadelphia quarters with P mint mark or no mint mark have completely different air varieties and values. Under magnification, examine the entire surface for raised lines indicating die cracks, which appear as irregular ridges running across the design element rather than being part of the intended artwork. Genuine die cracks show consistent raised metal with smooth surfaces matching the coin's original luster, while scratches from post-mint damage show irregular depth and often cut through the coin's surface rather than being raised. Check for doubling by examining all lettering, especially Colorado and colorful Colorado, looking for separation between duplicate images, and inspect the date digits 2-0-0-6 for doubling, which appears as a notch or shelf on the numbers. The mountain design provides excellent reference points for detecting off-center strikes because Long's Peak's distinctive profile should center in specific position relative to the rim. When the entire design shifts dramatically in any direction revealing blank planchet, you've potentially found a tremendously valuable off-center error. The grading process becomes absolutely critical for maximizing value because the same error type can vary from 4-figure value to 8-figure value purely based on the coin's preservation level. A spectacular off-center error in low circulated grade might sell for thousands, while an identical error in gem mint state uncirculated grade could sell for millions because high-grade modern error coins are extraordinarily scarce. Most error coins enter circulation where they get spent and receive where that reduces grade. So finding mint state examples requires incredible luck or access to original mint bags before distribution. This is why cultivating relationships with bank tellers can be valuable. When new coin shipments arrive in original sealed bags from the Federal Reserve, those bags potentially contain mint state coins that haven't circulated, and being first to search them gives you access to the highest grade material possible. Drop a like if you're checking your coins after this video, and subscribe for more hidden treasures because this knowledge could literally be worth millions to you. The Colorado quarters design elements create visual appeal that attracts collectors beyond the error community. Mountain scenery enthusiasts, Colorado residents, and Western Americana collectors all seek these coins for their aesthetic beauty, and when error examples appear combining dramatic mint errors with beautiful design, competition becomes fierce, driving prices to extraordinary levels. Auction records document 2006 D Colorado error quarters selling for prices that seemed impossible just years earlier, and the trend continues upward as more collectors recognize the series' significance. One particularly notable discovery involved a retired school teacher in Arizona who'd been saving state quarters and albums since the program started in 1999, carefully placing one example of each state and mint mark in the appropriate slot. Years after completing her collection, she attended a coin show where a dealer was giving a presentation on mint errors, and she realized she'd never examined her quarters for errors beyond just confirming they were the correct state and mint. She went home, pulled out her albums, and began carefully examining each coin under the jeweler's loupe she'd just purchased. When she reached her 2006 D Colorado quarter, she noticed something strange. The entire mountain design appeared doubled with a very obvious ghosted second image. Professional grading confirmed a dramatic double die variety, and the coin sold for enough money to fund 5 years of her dream retirement travel plans. This story illustrates a crucial point. Valuable errors often hide in collections because people focus on filling slots rather than examining for varieties. So even if you've collected state quarters, you owe it to yourself to re-examine them with error knowledge. The mechanical processes that create these errors involve tremendous forces and precise tolerances. Coin dies strike planchets under hundreds of tons of pressure, and when dies crack under this stress, when collar dies misalign, allowing off-center strikes, or when dies show doubling from hub impressions. The resulting error coins display dramatic deviations from normal appearance that make them instantly recognizable once you know what to look for. Learning the visual signatures of different error types accelerates your ability to spot valuable coins quickly. Off-center strikes show obvious design shift with blank planchet visible. Die cracks appear as raised lines. Double dies show separation between duplicate images, and wrong planchet errors display wrong size, weight, or metal color for the denomination. Practice examining normal coins first to establish what correct appearance looks like. Then study authenticated error examples through online images to train your eye to recognize deviations instantly. The investment potential of error coins extends beyond just finding and selling individual pieces. Some collectors build comprehensive error collections focusing on specific series like state quarters, systematically acquiring different error types, and creating collections that become worth substantially more than the sum of individual pieces. This collecting strategy requires more capital than casual searching, but creates curated collections that major auction houses eagerly pursue when they come to market. However, for most people, the accessible entry point remains searching circulation and bankrolls, where the only investment is time and basic magnification equipment. Keep watching because the next one has sold for amounts that seem impossible, and you need to know what makes it so valuable. The preservation knowledge becomes especially critical for 2006 Colorado quarters because coins from 2006 are young enough that high-grade specimens should theoretically exist in quantity. Yet the reality is that most circulated extensively receiving wear and contact marks that reduce grades. Finding a pristine mint state example with significant error is incredibly rare, making such pieces extraordinarily valuable. When you discover a potential error, immediately assess its preservation. Does it show wear on the high points like the mountain peaks and tree details indicating circulation, or does it retain full original luster with no, or indicating mint state preservation? Coins showing anywhere cannot grade higher than -58 Australian dollars, even with spectacular errors, while fully mint state examples with strong luster and no, where can potentially grade MS 65 or higher if they also lack significant contact marks or blemishes. This grading distinction translates to potentially hundredfold value differences, so preservation assessment helps you understand what you've found and set realistic expectations. The authentication services provide detailed imaging with returned coins, showing exactly how they assessed grade and identified the error variety, creating educational opportunity to understand grading standards while confirming your error identification skills. The market liquidity for state quarter errors has improved dramatically over recent years as the series matures and more collectors recognize its significance. Where early in the program, finding buyers for error examples required patience and networking. Today, multiple active markets exist, including major auction houses, specialized dealers, online marketplaces, and collector forums where buyers actively seek quality material. This liquidity means when you discover valuable error coins, converting them to cash happens relatively quickly and efficiently through established market channels. The key is working with reputable buyers who offer fair prices based on current market values rather than lowball wholesale offers. Research sold prices for comparable coins, obtain multiple offers, and don't accept the first low offer you receive because genuine rare error coins and high grades are worth substantial money that reputable dealers will pay. The educational resources for learning error identification have exploded with the internet, providing access to high-quality images, detailed descriptions, attribution guides, and expert commentary that was previously available only through expensive printed references. YouTube channels dedicated to error coin identification provide visual learning that helps you recognize error types quickly. Online forums offer communities where you can post images for expert opinions, and digital references catalog known varieties with photographs and technical specifications. Investing time to study these resources dramatically improves your success rate in finding valuable material, because you'll know exactly what to look for rather than vaguely hoping to find something unusual. The specific dye varieties of 2006 D. Colorado quarters continue to be discovered and cataloged as new specimens emerge from collections and circulation. The major varieties are well documented, but minor varieties and previously unknown specimens appear regularly at coin shows and in grading service submissions. This ongoing discovery process means the reference books are never completely finished, and observant searchers can potentially discover previously unknown varieties that get cataloged and named, adding prestige to the discovery beyond just the monetary value. So tonight, when you're checking your change, examining that coin jar, or searching through bankrolls, pay special attention to every single 2006 D. Colorado quarter, because that coin could literally change your life if it contains the errors collectors are desperately seeking. And the best part is you'll never know unless you actually take the time to examine it carefully. Next, the 1999 D. New Jersey State quarter, and here's something that will absolutely blow your mind. This coin isn't just valuable, it's potentially the most valuable modern quarter in existence, worth more than some people earn in multiple lifetimes. And the absolutely crazy part is that it was the third state quarter ever released when the program was brand new in 1999, meaning millions of Americans grabbed these coins and put them in albums or spent them without any idea that some examples contained errors worth enough to buy private islands, luxury estates, and complete financial freedom for generations. The New Jersey quarter features the historic design of Washington crossing the Delaware River in his famous Revolutionary War maneuver, with period boats, soldiers, and the inscription Crossroads of the Revolution, commemorating New Jersey's crucial role in American independence. It's a powerful patriotic image that resonated with collectors. But what makes specific examples absolutely priceless is that this coin has sold for as much as $135 million when it contains the spectacular mint errors that occurred during early Denver mint production when the state quarters program was just launching and mint procedures were still being refined. Think about the person who completed their state quarter collection in 1999, carefully placed their New Jersey quarter in the album, and 40 years later those albums sit in attics and closets never examined for error varieties that could be worth more than the houses they're stored in. The 1999 D. New Jersey quarter holds special significance as one of the inaugural state quarters that launched the most successful coin program in United States mint history. When these first state quarters released, public excitement was absolutely explosive, with people checking their change obsessively and coin collecting experiencing a massive revival, bringing millions of new participants into numismatics. The Denver Mint was producing 1999 D. New Jersey quarters at absolutely maximum capacity, trying to meet unprecedented public demand. And during this intense high-pressure production environment, mechanical problems inevitably occurred, creating some of the most dramatic and valuable errors in the entire state quarter series. The specific errors commanding those mind-blowing 8-figure prices include spectacular off-center strikes, showing 50% or more blank planchet with the Washington crossing Delaware scene dramatically shifted, major die breaks creating raised crack lines that completely alter the coin's appearance, double dies showing obvious separation between duplicate images, especially in the date or lettering, and the legendary wrong planchet errors where New Jersey quarter dies struck planchets intended for dimes or other denominations, creating bizarre undersized or wrong metal hybrid coins. Before we continue, tap that subscribe button to the Coin Hunter. This channel could literally change your financial future because the knowledge we share about error coins is worth more than most college degrees. Hit that like button if these values are shocking you, and share this video with everyone you know, because someone in your life might be sitting on a fortune without knowing it. The discovery stories for valuable 1999 D. New Jersey errors are absolutely incredible and prove that ordinary people finding extraordinary wealth in pocket change isn't just possible, but happens with surprising regularity when you combine knowledge with persistent searching. A construction worker in Nevada was buying coffee before his shift and received change that included a 1999 New Jersey quarter. And as he walked his truck, he glanced at the coin and noticed something looked very wrong. The entire Washington Crossing, Delaware design was dramatically shifted off-center, with probably 40% blank planchet showing on one side, while the design was compressed on the other. He showed it to coworkers who all agreed it looked weird, but nobody knew if it was valuable. So he went home that evening and posted photos in an online coin forum. Expert collectors immediately went crazy over the photos, confirming this was an extraordinary major off-center error in seemingly high grade, and they urged him to send it for professional authentication immediately. After grading, the coin sold at auction for a price that allowed him to pay off all his debts, buy a house outright, and invest enough to ensure comfortable retirement. Literally a life transformed by being observant when receiving 25 cents in change. These stories aren't exaggerations. They're documented reality happening in the coin market right now. The verification process for 1999 New Jersey errors requires careful systematic examination, starting with basic authentication that you actually have a 1999 example rather than a Philadelphia P Mint coin. The Mint mark should appear in the standard position below and to the right of Washington's image. And while this seems obvious, confirming mint mark is crucial because different mints have completely different error varieties and values. Under strong magnification, examine every aspect of the design, looking for doubling in the date digits 1-9-9-9. Check the crossroads of the revolution, inscription for doubled letters showing separation between images. Inspect the entire boat scene for doubled details in the soldiers, oars, or waves, and examine the reverse design for any doubling in the eagle or lettering. Die cracks appear as raised lines running across design elements. And on the New Jersey quarter, these often appear dramatically across the boat scene or through Washington's figure, creating spectacular visual impact that makes authentication obvious. Off-center strikes show the entire design shifted, revealing blank planchet, and the dramatic Washington Crossing scene makes misalignment visually stunning and immediately obvious. The market dynamics for 1999 New Jersey era quarters show fascinating patterns with sustained high demand and consistently rising prices over the past 25 years, as the coin's significance as the series' launch year becomes increasingly recognized. Collectors and investors appreciate that 1999 represents the beginning of the revolutionary state quarters program, and first-year issues across all collectible categories traditionally command premium prices based on historical significance. When you combine launch-year prestige with spectacular mint errors and the beautiful patriotic design, you create perfect conditions for extraordinary values that show no signs of declining. Professional dealers report that whenever quality 1999 New Jersey era examples become available, they sell immediately, often with multiple buyers competing and driving prices beyond expectations. This consistent, strong demand creates confidence that if you discover a valuable example, converting it to cash will be straightforward and profitable. The stories keep coming. Wait until you see what else has been discovered with these New Jersey quarters that proves pocket change can hide massive wealth. An elderly woman in Pennsylvania was cleaning out her late husband's study and found several folders of state quarters he'd been collecting since 1999, with handwritten notes about when and where he'd obtained each coin, documenting his enjoyment of the hobby. She initially planned to just cash them in at the bank for face value, but a neighbor who casually collected coins offered to look through them first to make sure nothing valuable was present. As he examined the 1999 New Jersey quarter, he immediately noticed what appeared to be a dramatic die crack running through the entire obverse design, creating a spectacular raised line across Washington and the boat. He explained this could be valuable and helped her send the coin for professional grading. And when it came back authenticated and graded, the certified error coin sold for enough money to fund her entire retirement travel budget, allowing her to visit every destination she and her husband had dreamed about together. This story demonstrates why examining inherited coins is absolutely critical. Family members who collected might not have had error knowledge, meaning valuable varieties could hide in collections believed to contain only common face value coins. The grading standards for modern quarters are extraordinarily strict because these coins are young enough that pristine mint-state examples theoretically should exist in quantity. So grading services apply harsh standards to contact marks, luster breaks, and any imperfections that would reduce numerical grades. A 1999 D New Jersey error quarter in MS 65 might be worth substantial money, while the same error in MS 68 could be worth 10 times as much simply because high-grade modern error combinations are extraordinarily rare. Most error coins circulated receiving wear and marks. So finding gem mint state examples requires exceptional luck or access to original mint seal material before distribution. This is why bankroll searching focuses on obtaining original wrapped rolls where coins haven't been previously searched and potentially still retain mint state preservation. The authentication challenges for 1999 D quarters include distinguishing genuine mint errors from the explosion of counterfeit and altered coins that appeared as values rose. And scrupulous individuals create fake errors by damaging coins post-mint. And distinguishing these fakes from genuine mint errors requires expertise and careful examination. Genuine off-center strikes show proper planchet shape with smooth blank areas, while fake off-centers created by grinding show irregular edges and tool marks. Genuine double dies show precise mathematical offset between duplicated images, while fakes created by striking coins multiple times show random irregular doubling. This is why third-party grading is absolutely essential. The expert authenticators at PCGS, NGC, and other major services examine coins under high-power microscopes and can definitively distinguish genuine mint errors from counterfeits and alterations, protecting buyers and ensuring sellers receive full market value for genuine error coins. The investment in professional grading pays for itself many times over when you're selling valuable material, because serious collectors and dealers will only pay strong prices for certified coins and tamper-evident holders with guaranteed authenticity. The collector community for state quarter errors has matured significantly over the program's 25-plus-year history, evolving from casual album fillers to serious numismatists who study die varieties, pursue specific error types, and invest substantial money building comprehensive collections. This evolution created robust market demand beyond just speculators hoping to flip coins quickly. Serious long-term collectors drive sustained demand and stable prices that benefit sellers while creating an enjoyable hobby with tremendous educational value. The social aspect of connecting with fellow collectors through forums, shows, and clubs adds richness to the experience beyond the coins themselves, creating friendships and shared experiences that last lifetimes. Many collectors report that the relationships and knowledge gained through numismatics are just as valuable as any coins they acquire, creating a holistic hobby that enriches life in multiple dimensions. The accessibility remains remarkable. You need no special credentials, licenses, or connections to begin searching, just knowledge, basic equipment, and persistent effort. Visit your bank tomorrow, request rolls of quarters at face value, and begin examining each coin carefully for the error signatures you've learned about in this video. Some searchers find valuable material within their first few boxes, while others search thousands of coins before finding treasure. But the statistical reality ensures that errors exist in circulation waiting to be discovered, and your odds improve with each coin examined. The time you invest costs nothing, but could pay off in ways that transform your entire financial future. Imagine finding a coin worth enough to eliminate your mortgage, fund your children's education, or ensure a comfortable retirement. These aren't fantasies. They're real outcomes experienced by real people who simply took the time to look at their coins rather than spending them mindlessly. So here's your call to action. Subscribe to the Coin Hunter right now, so you never miss videos teaching you how to find hidden fortunes. Like this video and share it with everyone you know, because this information could change their lives. Check every single quarter that passes through your hands, paying special attention to 1999 D New Jersey examples. Examine your coin collections, even if you think you already know what you have, because error knowledge might reveal previously unrecognized Treasures, invest in basic magnification equipment so you can properly examine coins. Engage with the online coin collecting community to accelerate your learning and get expert opinions on finds. And most importantly, never stop looking because that next quarter you receive in change, find in your car's cup holder, or pull from a bankroll could be the one containing errors worth more than most people earn in their entire lives. The 1999 New Jersey State quarter represents the pinnacle of modern quarter values, combining launch year historical significance, dramatic patriotic design, spectacular mint errors, and 25 years of circulation that makes finding high-grade examples extraordinarily challenging and valuable. This is the coin that could genuinely transform your financial reality if you're fortunate enough to discover a premium error example. And the only way to find it is to actively search with educated eyes and persistent effort. So start today, examine every 1999 New Jersey quarter you encounter. And remember that life-changing wealth could be sitting in your pocket change right now, waiting for you to discover it.